how can you find more customers? More customers means more sales, means more money for you. This is a video in the Business Income Gains series where I show you how to use the Business Income Gains free spreadsheet, link below, you can download it, use it for yourself, how you can use that spreadsheet and an understanding, a deep understanding of your user avatar to find more customers. If you haven't already, click the link below, get the Business Income Gains spreadsheet, go to File, make a copy, create a copy of the Business Income Gains spreadsheet for yourself. And before you start this lesson in this free course, you're gonna wanna go back and do the financials and the user avatar video in the Business Income Gains series, because we will be using both of those to identify the most powerful opportunities in finding your customers. We are diving into the heart of the Business Income Gains system. We've already filled out a financial model and we've deeply understood our user avatar. We've crafted a very specific user avatar, really dived into their emotional state, their context, their problems at a specific level. And now we're ready to use those insights to start identifying strategies that will have a big impact on our net revenue. Now, let me give you a little overview of what's happening on the page here. There are several strategy tabs. We're going to be focused on Find Your Avatar today, but there's also Speak Their Language, i.e. converting on ads and landing pages. By speaking their language, there's Crafting Your Offer. This comes third in the user series, right? You find them, they first experience you through language, image, etc., and then you deliver an offer. But this is really, if you're building a company, this should come first. Craft an offer, test that offer with people in kind of mock ways, or that's an entirely different subject, and maybe we'll talk about that a little bit more in the implementation video. But craft the offer, test your offer, then build your product to really deliver on that offer. And then go back to finding people and speaking their language. But all of that becomes so much easier if you have the right offer, and no amount of finding your avatar and speaking their language is gonna help you if you don't have an offer people don't want. So, and then lastly, re-engage your customers. When people have bought your product, there's opportunity to have them share it or re-engage in other ways, like buy again, or re-engage in other ways with your brand. So, today we will focus on finding your avatar. Each of these sections is divided into organic strategies and the impact, where you can pick one of those strategies and forecast the impact on it. Let me clear that out for you. I already last week did a brief example of how you would use the user avatar section to find a specific content marketing strategy, i.e. leverage what you know about their influencers to improve your content marketing, right? And the step that I would do in this page, the only additional step that we didn't do last time, is really forecasting that. So I'll go with that example, then I'll do another example from the paid area. So the example, we were using TED and direct to consumer keto cereal. TED is the avatar for this. He's someone who follows Tim Ferriss and is all about life hacks and brain hacks, and wants to have more energy and more mental clarity, especially in the afternoons, so that he can live his best life and live a great life rather than kind of the mediocre one that he stumbles through in his tired, brain foggy haze. So that is our specific avatar. We've already established that he learned about keto from Tim Ferriss's book Tools of Titans. Now there's all sorts of other places one might get it, and one might follow trends, right? Who is the current most popular influencer for right now? We'll just use that example. And if I, on my social media platforms, use them in part to boost Tim Ferriss keto content, would I get more people interested in me on my channel who are also seeing, my post about the keto cereal that's delicious and still keto friendly? You could buy in bulk, direct to consumer, etc. And now it comes time to forecast how much impact that might have on my company. And so there are two different general approaches. You can use either one. I would avoid being overly specific again, because this is a general forecast. One way you could do the easiest, lowest load way I could think about this content marketing strategy would be gut instinct. My organic leads would increase 2%. And my conversion rate, because I am getting people who are really into keto and we've established a rapport because we like the same person, Tim Ferriss, I'm going to say my overall conversion rate goes up 1%. And when I say 1% on conversion rate, that's 1% of my current conversion rate, not absolute. So I'm not like saying anything astounding like going from 3 to 4%. I'm going from 3% to 0.03%, right? And that has a $4,000 impact on my company. Now, you might want to also factor in something I didn't put in this spreadsheet. How long does it take you to actually achieve these results? If you were doing a full content marketing, creating a lot of content on your own, that could take a very long time to build up your brand to get additional revenue. This is like a very simple thing. Like if I retweeted more of Tim Ferriss's content, would I get more organic traffic from Twitter and more conversion rate? So this is still actually relatively low lift strategy, but you might want to consider that in the strategies that you can come up with. And so that's kind of a gut reaction. One of the things I would urge you to do is be very conservative. Like think in terms of 1 to 3% gains. It's great if you can, I mean, if you can increase your organic leads 5% by tweeting Tim Ferriss, like obviously that would be awesome. Or 10%, right? You know, even more money, that's fantastic. But think realistically, are you going to get 3,000 more people, not just seeing your tweet, but like clicking through your tweet and actually seeing your website offer page, right? You're actually going to get the traffic where you're selling stuff. You're going to get 3,000 people from like Tim Ferriss tweets to do that, you know, to click through. Great if you think you can do that. But that's why I generally, especially if you're going through just like gut check, like what could I do? What would happen if I just made a 1% improvement? I would, or X% improvement, I would stick to like 1 to 3 and be very moderate in how you estimate things, right? So the conversion rate already kind of does that. Even a 3% conversion rate is really like a 0.1% improvement. We can see here that since the majority of traffic is paid, increasing the overall conversion rate is a much more powerful lever than organic. Obviously, what I'm saying here when I say increasing conversion rate is not that the paid traffic will convert better because the organic traffic saw an ad. I just, like I said before in a previous video, I haven't split out organic and paid conversion rates. You can have separate business income gain spreadsheets if you want to do that. But if you want to take the more methodical approach, right, really calculate this out. If I say like, well, I have 10,000 or 5,000 Twitter followers, right? And Tim Ferriss has, I don't even know how many. He has 1 million Twitter followers. I don't know, hundreds of thousands of Twitter followers. All right, if I regularly tweet out his content, like it, I'm the first person to comment or whatever, otherwise boost his content. You know, how many of those am I going to capture? Am I going to really capture, you know, hundreds of thousands? No. Am I going to capture tens of thousands? No. Am I going to capture 1,000? Maybe. Or thousands? Maybe. So, you know, if he's got whatever, 100,000, right? So, and I'm thinking in the thousands, I'm already thinking of like 3 to 5%. How many of those are also going to check out my website or like my ads and actually click through? If I'm thinking in terms of thousands, I'm going to assume a relatively low rate. So I'm going to assume like, yeah, 100. So like maybe 1 in 10. or 1 in 20, depending on whether it's 3 or 6,000, right? So I'm being very moderate here, and I'm working backwards, calculating the math, not just doing the gut check. And I'll be like, all right, from this strategy, since this is a particularly modest strategy, maybe if I adopted a content marketing strategy where I was producing more unique content myself, that would take more time, but that would result in more organic leads, who knows? But with this strategy, I'll just assume 1% increase on organic leads or 300 new people coming. And then I've already kind of done the, actually, no, I haven't done a conversion rate, right? So how much would it improve? Like having 300 people, these 300 people though, they already know about Tim Ferriss, that we've bonded. I'm going to assume they, improve at a 10%, 10% rate or something like that, or higher, because like they already know Tim Ferriss. They've already come through my keto tweets. They're primed. They click on my website. So I'm going to say like 10% of those are already people looking for keto diet stuff, and they click through. And so if I had 30 more buyers, let's look at my financials. So like I get 30 out of 4,500. I have 4,500 sales. So like what would be 30 divided by 4,500? Oh yeah. It's a nice thing about being a spreadsheet. It is a calculator. So it's 0.006%, or 0.6%. Oh, I'm in speak their language. All right, random. All right, so 0.6%, that would actually be a 2% increase in my conversion rate, right? I calculated 30 more people, 0.06%, bam. So there we go. And that would be the impact. So we did a gut check. We kind of adjusted our organic leads down to think about it, more. We actually adjusted our conversion rate up after we thought about that, and ended up around like $6,400 of net income impact. Now, that's not total revenue impact, that's net income. So that's an example of working through this entire process. Of course, you might do this more than once. You might say like, okay, well, that's just like content marketing with tweeting Tim Ferriss. So, and I do not get any money from Tim Ferriss. So I am unaffiliated with him, FYI. He's just an example. Ted likes him. It's not about me, it's about Ted. So, all right. So there's other things. There's SEO, right? If I could write SEO articles, how much more organic traffic would I get? And then, a great way to do that might be difficult to project if you're not doing that right now, but like you might look through case studies of people who have started this and done it successfully. And then again, adopt a moderate approach. Go for your like 1 to 3%. Don't assume a huge increase. You can always double down, get better, try this, improve it, the strategy, another 1% or another 3%. But the whole point of this is very achievable gains, 1 and 2% gains in this case. Shell out $6,000. That $6,000 is about 1/7 or almost 15% increase in net revenue. So a 15% increase in net revenue from some very approachable strategy with very approachable results. I can shoot for that. Now, I'm not expecting that like the first tweet I launch, like the first retweet of Tim Ferriss is going to net me like 300 people coming to my website, right? Like maybe if I'm lucky, it gets 300 people just looking at my Twitter in general. But like, again, traffic here is defined as people who are actually visiting where you're selling stuff, right? So in a sense, they have converted from your ads. They just haven't converted in the overall conversion rate towards buying your product. So, and when we talk about conversion rate, it's how many of the people that are on your website or where you're selling stuff, how many of those people buy the products, not how many overall people that you have somehow tweeted at or have seen your social media accounts have convert, etc. So just clarifying that. But we've gone through that. And so very modest improvements can yield substantial results. Again, 15% improvement in net revenue for this business. So again, be modest when you're going out and researching. And if you're going to use a research, someone else's example, Don't pick the example of like, I doubled my organic traffic by doing SEO in 1 month. Like, that's really not realistic. I hope no one actually says that. But you want to find, more middle of the road, maybe a case study from the blog of a company that did it and, got modest results, right? You might want to shoot for that. And this is aspirational in the sense of like, it might not pan out at all, but you want to create an achievable goal, and you want to expect that there's going to be a learning curve with whichever strategy you apply. The purpose of the business income gain system is to help you focus on a strategy, see how much it very achievably might give your business, and then focus on that, master that, take the time to work through the bumps and a few false starts to really get those gains, and then start stacking up those little gains one at a time while you're focused, right? Rather than skipping between all three of these, right? Instead of like content marketing, SEO, doing joint ventures, referrals, and direct outreach all at the same time and overwhelming yourself, right? Too much. All right, you're not gonna master those, you're not gonna get the results you want, but you can get the results you want by trying out one strategy, setting very achievable goals, and then either repeating that with the same strategy, like doubling down, or combining a finding strategy with a speaking their language strategy, with an offer strategy, and all of those things start to coalesce and create big results. So that is one example. I want to do another example. Let's take a paid example. So targeting ads is the biggest one, although there's also affiliates, right? You could start an affiliate program where people who sell, or a paid referral program where people who sell, like people find or refer clients to you in order to get a cut of the money. You really would have to be very high traffic. It's probably not like affiliate for this e-commerce example where they already feel like they're paying too much, and the margins on their traffic, given that a lot of their traffic is paid, are not great. But that works really well for high ticket sales, where one of the limiting factors is not the profitability of each sale, but like how many sales you can make, etc. So, but I'll go with the more common targeted ads, which will work for this e-commerce example better. So questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've already looked at affiliates. Communities would be similar, right? Engage with engage the community, show an ad to a community they belong to. That's pretty simple, pretty immediate, pretty quick. Easy strategy. I'll do one a little bit more interesting. What are they doing before they run into the problem, while they run into the problem? Okay, this is one that requires a deeper understanding of your avatar, so I'll do that. So number 3, how can I apply what I know about Ted and what he's doing when he experiences the problem of needing a keto cereal? What is he doing? Is he at work? Right? Is he at work and realizing that he doesn't have, like, the office is terribly equipped for keto snacks, and they have all these sugary things around, and he's tempted to eat the sugary things, and he realizes, like, oh, I need to get a keto munchie to solve my munchies at work where I can stay keto. And so, all right, so I know he's at work. And okay, but that's still kind of general. Let's dig down more specifically. When does he notice this problem? Well, I mean, he might eat keto cereal out the door or whatever, but like maybe he has keto leftovers in his fridge or whatnot. But like we'll assume it could be in the morning, but if we're assuming he's at work when he sees the munchies is where he runs into this problem, or one of the places he runs into this problem. You might run into it in the morning and at work. Who knows? Maybe he eats lots of keto cereal, or needs lots of keto cereal. All right, so he's running into that at work. It's probably not first thing in the morning, but let's see, maybe 10 a.m. Where does Ted live, right? 10 a.m. It's if he's a keto person, I feel like there's a lot of those people in like California and New York. So like, all right, I want to run ads at 10 a.m. somewhere like on Spotify, for example, that he might be listening to while he's at work, or on work-related websites for Ted. What other things might he be doing? And I want to run those ads at like 10 o'clock when he's got the munchies, right? So that is an example of using, again, your more in-depth knowledge of your user avatar, thinking through them specifically as one person, and then applying that to better targeted ads. And so if I can get my ads to him via like, oh yeah, what kind of music does, I didn't even think about that, like what kind of music does keto loving Ted, Keto and Tim Ferriss loving Ted listen to? What kind of music does keto loving Ted listen to? I haven't even thought about that. Put suggestions down in the comments. Let me know what type of music you think Ted would listen to, and we'll target those channels on Spotify at 10 a.m. to try and see if I can reach out to him while he has the keto munchies. So that's an example of like very targeted ads. All right, and applying user avatar knowledge to a strategy. Now again, I will, in the implementation section at the end of this video series, I will get into how you specifically implement this, including validating your user avatar, because if you're wrong about the type of music that Ted listens to, it might be ineffective. So just saying. All right. So given our targeted ad strategy for Ted, how much more paid traffic could I get? Well, how many people are listening to the Spotify channel? You know, in California, like 10 a.m., who are keto munchers? Is it hundreds? Is it thousands? We'll say 1%. All right, so how much of that traffic would convert? Well, let's even say like these are all people who have keto munchies who are clicking through an ad. So like I assume they're highly motivated. And so, I mean, maybe like some people are curious, but like we'll say even just like 10% of these people, because we've caught them right at the keto munchie time, 10% buy through the ad eventually, right? And maybe some of these people are like curious at first and they go back and do some research and then come back and buy. I'm still gonna kind of assume like because we paid to acquire their attention in the first place, those people count. And I'm not tracking them separately or whatever. I'm just generally factoring them into the streamlined, simplified financial model. So like 10% of that. So we'll say I get additional 120 sales, which is a 2.6% increase in my conversion rate, or 2% of my sales. So 2.6%. All right, increase. Would the cost to acquire traffic go down? Now, I'm thinking ads on Spotify, and I don't know how much they cost, but I get the feeling like actually, chances are if I really thought through this, like the 2% was like a cost per click model, and that's like a cheap cost per click actually. Oh, what would happen if the cost of these ads went up? Oh, did I do this? Let's see, did I do this percent? It's gonna go up 10% actually. Ooh. The average cost. Well, like let's say like still this is not the majority of my advertising. Let's say it goes up 5%. Oof, still negative, right? So one of the things killing my business already is that killing this business already is like the cost to acquire traffic. Like that's the majority of the revenue goes to acquire traffic, which is unfortunate. So really anything that increases traffic, like that's even 1% still viable, right? Like if I, on average, 2 cents, 4 cents. And then again, I guess I could calculate this out. If I'm already spending $200,000 on like getting more traffic to a website that doesn't convert well, then, you know, maybe actually that paid ads would not be a large, if I spend 10,000 on paid ads, yeah, actually let's do that. So if I'm spending 10,000 out of 120,000, or like, what was it, 240,000? Something like that. Crazy with ads. 10,000. There we go. So it's 4%. That would be a 4% increase in my ad budget if I leverage that against all of that. So like, yeah. So if I spent 10,000 to get 1,200 people through, and that's like actually a very high click-through rate, $10,000. I guess if I spend $10,000 to get hundreds of thousands of impressions or whatever at 10 a.m. at the keto munchie time to get, 1,200 people on my site, which 10% of which convert, etc., still not actually worth it, right? I'd be in the hole $2,000 more. I would lose out. Now, maybe if I have some business around repeat customers that I'm not really modeling here, like it still might pan out in the long time, but still dicey, right? And so what I'm learning here is like, maybe if it's expensive to actually run ads on Spotify, that is not the place for me. So I need to go back. How do I target them better? And maybe I need to stick with online, but find a way to do it more effectively so my cost per click goes down. And that would have a better impact on my business. So how much more paid traffic could I get? So what is Ted surfing? Like, where is he? What's happening at 10 a.m. that he might be surfing at work? So if he's an engineer, if we make Ted an engineer, which I'm going to do just because I know that, right? Stack Overflow. That's the place where engineers go to ask questions about code that they don't understand and get answers. And so like, I'm going to say like at 10 a.m. he's had time to get through like early morning stuff. He might start to hit meetings, but like in between meetings, he's checking out Stack Overflow to answer some engineering problem he's stuck on, right? And so I'm going to put my ads for keto cereal on Stack Overflow and see if that gets traffic. Now, there's going to be a lot of people on Stack Overflow that aren't interested in keto, so maybe I should be more selective. Like, it's a questionable play, so I might come up with an alternative theory, like, all right, well, maybe it's a health or brain hacking site or podcast. Like, maybe he streams, like, maybe if I can find a place that streams like health brain hacking podcasts online that he's listening to while he's coding, maybe. So I'll try that. That seems to be an area where a high percentage of those people seem like they would convert. And that seems more targeted than just targeting all engineers, which is what Stack Overflow would do. There probably are clever marketers who would be like, wait, but if we only go to Stack Overflow, like we advertise not just to Stack Overflow people, but we somehow use that, tracking pixel magic to target only people on Stack Overflow who follow Tim Ferriss. All right. Oh, there we're getting real targeted. All right. Now I'm starting to like that. So it's engineers, Silicon Valley, and we'll geolocate it to California or something like that, right? Very, very targeted. So, all right. Now, do I think I could get 1,200 engineers? And this is actually over the course of a year. Again, this is a yearly financial model out. So like, do I think I could get 1,200 people over the course of the year on my website from Stack Overflow who are fans of Tim Ferriss? Sure. All right, how would the conversion rate improve? If I could even target it more, people who bought like Tools of Titans or other things that Tim Ferriss has done that are more specifically, that specifically include keto. How much more would my conversion rate improve? Like, let's see, what was we'll keep the 2.6%, right? Because I still find people during their munchie time who are already fans of Tim Ferriss, all right. So how much might the cost to acquire traffic go down? Now, here's the point, is I'm already paying a butt ton to get my traffic. How can I model? So if I'm doing it more effectively, the cost per click will actually go down. So the cost to acquire customers, and let's just be conservative. On average, like it becomes 2 cents cheaper. because getting this particular segment on Stack Overflow or whatever goes down. Generally, the more highly converting your customers are, the lower the cost per click is. So we're going to assume that generally, yes, this goes down specifically. I'm not sure specifically how advertising on Stack Overflow to fans of Tim Ferriss, specifically how that works, but just for the example, we'll go with that, right? Wow, okay, so since one of the huge costs of the business is paying to acquire traffic, doing it at a cheaper rate, and getting more paid traffic, improving the conversion rate slightly, and increasing it would dramatically increase our business. And this is just assuming like we do it a little bit more, right? Once you've tested this out and validated it, man, the business gains you could get by saying like, I'm going to drop all these other expensive places that don't convert, and I'm going to go full out on Stack Overflow fans of Tim Ferriss or other engineering sites, right? And then I'm going to reinvest that, right? Then you actually might, once you've validated these tiny achievable 1% improvements, then you might be able to go ahead and say like, well, I already know that, I would have a 5% increase there in conversion rates, as well as like a 5% increase in paid traffic, and my cost of acquisition is going to go down 10%, and I've just doubled my net revenue, right? Like I can go whole hog on that strategy. You'd have to see, again, like how much traffic you could get and etc. But always model the easy, like the small achievable wins first, and then once you actually find a winning strategy, double down on that, right? And so this will help you find the big impact easy wins. Right now we've just modeled organic strategy, content marketing versus better targeted ads, and we found the winner is definitely the better targeted ads. We've used our avatar to develop specific plans of attack, like very specific plans of attack. I'm not telling you, oh, you should work on content marketing, do more content marketing, and your content marketing should like be aspirational and you should do it regularly. All right, go do it. Go figure it out. Make it work, right? These are specific strategies based on your user. You know how to implement them. It's so much easier to focus than like generic advice on like, here's my top 12 tips on targeting ads or content marketing. No, like this is specific for you. Now, I can't give you that for your business unless you obviously pay me as a coach. But what I can do now is, as close as possible, is give you the formula, right? Model your business, understand your user avatar deeply. We'll talk in the end of the series about implementation and validating that user avatar, because that is an important step. And then use that financial model and avatar to find a specific strategy with the biggest impact on your net revenue. I hope you're really excited about this, because I am definitely excited about this. I am excited about making your keto cereal brand get $10,000 extra dollars. But I mean, more seriously, please leave a comment down below in terms of what you're finding, what strategies you thought of. I would love to hear about the different ad targeting or affiliate or organic strategies that you have come up with using your avatar and you've modeled in the system. Let me know. I would love to hear it. Let me know about any questions that you have in terms of how you apply the user avatar to these strategies. If you have suggestions for strategies that I should add to my Find Your Avatar tab, please throw them up. Again, they're just a set of common strategies to get you thinking. They are certainly not exhaustive. All right, so go fill out some projections for organic or paid strategies to get more customers. And again, what you're doing here is you're forecasting a very reasonable, conservative estimate of what kind of impact you can get by applying your user insight to that strategy. You don't need to go pie in the sky goals here. We're going for SMART goals. The A in SMART goals is achievable. And what you want to do is find an achievable win. Could I improve my organic leads by 2% by doing better SEO? Could I improve how my conversion rate with better content marketing, etc., by understanding my user better? That is what's going to, over time, allow you to focus and consistently make 1 or 2% improvements that result in thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars of increase in your net income. So this is the Business Income Gains course on how to use the Business Income Gains spreadsheet to help you focus on the business strategies that will grow your income the most. We've only talked in this video about finding strategies, but there are also strategies for speaking your customer's language so they convert more, for crafting a more valuable offer that you can charge more for, or re-engaging your customers so you can get referrals or repeat business from them. So we'll go into all of those strategies, and at the end I will also talk more about how to implement it. So right now you're just focused on conservative projections and figuring out which strategy is the most effective for your business. And at the end of the Business Income Gains series, we'll talk more about how to implement that strategy for success.